Hi and welcome back to the round robin stage of the Legend of the Stars 2017 Championship. We are all go here. We are smack in the middle of the tournament. We're just getting some extra casting done in between. Well, we are looking at Group A. This is, well, let's have a look at the score. Well, what is that? That's not the right thing at all. Let's get rid of that. I have completely ballsed up my titles. Let's show the correct one. That's what we want to see. We have got Zoc, Bravo, Big Prior, Mr. Chief Jaguar, and Farm Sledger. We've got a few points on the board so far. We are currently looking at Bravo taking on a Chief Jaguar, which is that number 3 guy with the ridiculous name. They have gone all the way out to a third match in their best of 3. So we're going to have to go down to Crimson Feud just to find out who's going to take the points and have a little bit better chance of advancing through to tomorrow's elimination tournament. All right, let's get our game socks on and head on to Crimson Feud. And here we go. So we have in the bottom left corner for the third match in a row, purple Mr. Bravo. He's going to go for Aeon this time around. He's getting double adjacency on those mixers and on the Hydro as well. That's a very nice placement of that first factory. And we can see the first rally point ready to build the Hydro in all sorts of a hurry. And then the plan is just to grab the rest of those core mass extractors while the ACU waits. Let's see if Achieved has been able to pick up that exact same build. And in fact, he's gone Aeon as well. So we're in an Aeon mirror matchup. Those first land factories are completed. And those first engineers are just about ready to pop out of the gates and start building that Hydro. So we're going to see very, very little difference in the way these guys are getting their initial builds out. Although we could see some variation in the way that they get out to their expansions, because we have got one expansion here nice and close with another Hydro, which is something they're really going to want to pick up nice and quickly. But then out in the corners we have got these 2 extra expansions, and along with those a whole lot of Tech 2 Rex. That is a big mass boost that these guys can pick up very early in the game. We have got, interestingly, a Flare running out. So that was the second unit out of that land factory. He's running straight out to the corner, and he is being maybe a little bit too eager about hoping there's an engineer there. That would be a ridiculously fast engineer if there was anything to pick up at this point in the game. The Flare out here from a Chief Jaguar is heading straight into the middle, being a little bit more realistic about where he might pick up an engineer kill. He might even scoot around the bottom of this cliff and scoot up and behind these mexes to try to pick up the Engie as it makes its way out to the expansion. The other good target, of course, would be to try and get in behind this one if he can get the engineer that's sent out to get that. Wow, that would be a big win, and that looks like exactly what's happening up here with Bravo. He's going to bring his Flare around the back. It could even pick up this Engie. He doesn't have radar with it, so he will be relying on vision range. Will he spot that? Oh, I don't think he has. He will still get this Engie, which is, I think, his primary target. Oh, he's actually spotted it. Unfortunately, no, he's made the right call. He's gone back for that first one he was targeting, because there is now a defensive Aurora, and that's going to absolutely smash that Flare. But still, a single engineer kill is worthwhile, even if it wasn't hugely effective. That Engie had already completed the mass extractor build. We've got another Engie out here. It's a bit exposed at the moment from a Chief Jaguar. There is an Aurora following up closely behind. He is going to be able to defend that because Bravo's not actually going to be aggressive with these couple of flares. He's going to just sit them back and wait and see what happens. Obviously looking out for any units with this radar to see if they pop into view, start causing all sorts of trouble, or just trying to capture that expansion. We've got dual bombers out now. We've got Bravo's bomber coming out to the left. It's going to try and target that Engie. It looks like there's no reaction from a Chief Jaguar. The bomb is away, and that's a direct hit, so it will deny that Hydro. We have got a bomber out here. It's going to take out a couple of those units. That is going to get pounced upon though by the engineer, so it will a very small amount of damage to Bravo's efforts, but if that had been an engineer, that would have been a fantastic pickup. Unfortunately, not being able to repay the engineer kill. That's a very poor amount of flying there from Bravo's interceptor, completely dying while flying in a circle, but a second interceptor comes out, finishes the job, and that'll bring the numbers back to even in the air game. Right, we have got an aggressive looking Aurora coming down the left hand side. There is a Spirit out there which will spot that it's coming. There's a couple of Auroras following it up. That Spirit though, that will be very vulnerable to start with. There we go. Now there's no radar coverage, and that's a bad thing because these guys, they can't see as far as they can shoot. So if you have no radar, you are in for a bad time. You can get outranged by Auroras on the opposing team if they've got radar coverage. So that's not a good spot to be in. The ACU is now in position for Bravo. He's going to be able to start grabbing those mass extractors, and if he's short on mass, he can actually grab those reclaim wrecks as well. Let's have a quick check at his economy level. Well, he's got half a bar of mass, so he's definitely not short. And Chief Jaguar, well, he needs to get his power situation under control. He has been pushing air a little hard, I suspect, and he is suffering the consequences. Actually, no, that is a result of this hydro being denied. There's now 2 NGs on it, so that is a testament to just how powerful that bomber really was. Taking out that one engineer has completely stalled the Chief Jaguar's power situation. And that's going to give Bravo a bit of a leg up, because not only is that going to slow his build down, but his mass extractors won't be at full capacity when they've got no power either, so that will give him a small mass advantage just to boot. So Bravo looking very good with the map control right now. He has taken this corner of the map with the 4 mixers. He probably should have put a land factory down to secure it a wee bit more, and also get some engines out to grab that reclaim when that's required, because right now he can't grab that reclaim when he runs out of mass, which is a very bad thing. A Chief Jaguar being very aggressive with that ACU. He's not even bothering to try and take this corner up here. There's still unclaimed wrecks as well, but that ACU just rocking on up. Was that a gun upgrade that we saw? Is that why he was bottlenecking on power so badly? He really could have done with completing that hydro before he completed his upgrade. But what is this? I see no radar. It looks like a Chief Jaguar's got the same problem again, where he had no radar coverage at all, thus crippling those Auroras. He did bring a scout in to try and make up for that, but it quickly gets shot down by the mobile AA that is mixed in here from Bravo. That's going to make a Chief Jaguar think twice about moving forward. He's going to come back up to the top and grab this expansion. Fortunately for him though, he's still got all of those T2 wrecks, which are going to be very handy in refilling that mass reserve that he will be needing just about now. Alright, the ACU for Bravo has come back down. He's going to put down that factory as recommended so he can start producing units and some NGs for reclaim. Meanwhile, the NG out the front there just getting brutalized by the Auroras. This is not a good place for Bravo though. He's only got a couple of Auroras left, and there's a big swarm of blue ones coming down, and they're going to push right through. That could be very bad. They could potentially get right into this base, and if not, it's going to divert a whole lot of units away from the center. And Achieved is still looking a bit like he has a superior number of Auroras in the center as well. So things are not looking too great for the Bravo spam game right now. He needs to get those units into slightly better positions so that he can use them. How many land factories are we talking about? Well, we have got 6 land factories clustered in there for Achieved. We have got 3 down and another one coming, so that is a total of 10 land factories. What have we got in here? Well, we have just got 9, and well, the 10th one has come online. So now they are both running at 10 apiece. Well, actually, there's a bonus 1.5 over here. So Bravo slightly ahead in the factory game there, but not in the making it count game, because he is losing in the center, getting absolutely smashed again. He is finding himself without any radar right now. In fact, I think he has forgotten to have some scouts in there, and he hasn't built any static radar. Let's have a look from his perspective. A single radar built just a bit nearer the front lines, that would have helped out immensely, because a T1 radar on a teeny tiny map like this, that has a big range. It's something that he probably wants to remedy. But whoa, what are we seeing from Bravo? He's splitting his forces again. He's got half of his Auroras heading up to the top there, but they are outgunned by Achieved, and the rest of them here are massively outgunned. Achieved has the advantage of just being able to redirect all of this cluster of Auroras here, left or right, whichever way he pleases, and that's going to cut off all of this advancement in the middle that Bravo's trying to do. Even if Bravo does get up around the left-hand side, there is an ACU and a walled Tech 1 PD waiting for him, and he has forgotten to build any artillery, so those Auroras will get smashed apart from that PD. That's going to be a recipe for disaster. Bravo just not looking like he's got the spam on the ground. How is the eco game going for the production of this? We've got 39 for Achieved and 41 for Bravo, so still equal there, but Achieved, I think, just being able to make it count a bit more. Right, Bravo really needs to get an attack move out from his factory out to this reclaim field. Look at all of the mass that is sitting there waiting for grabs. An attack move to a sort of semi-safe location would still yield a whole lot of mass, but that is exactly what Achieved Jaguar is doing. Look at these guys back here. They are pulling in a ton of mass. That is going to just fuel that fire, and we can see it just looks like there's more blue spam coming across the map. If this just keeps going the way it is, that is just going to slowly move towards the purple base here, kind of like, you know, that final scene in Harry Potter where they cast their magic at each other and the beams breaking in the middle and eventually it busts through one player. That's what this looks like. We've got a purple beam of magic and a blue beam of magic, and it's not going to go well for Bravo. He is trying to get the range upgrade on that gun. It is just about completed. He will hopefully be thinking he can make a difference, get in there and ping away some of those Auroras. We've probably got the same thing from Achieved Jaguar though. Let's have a quick look. There we go. Starting gun. He's got range done. He's got sensors done. And he's got the speed upgrade on that gun as well. So that is a pretty heavily upgraded commander. It's going to be kind of difficult for this purple commander to compete. And what is this? He's just doing more upgrades while he's losing Auroras to bombers. So this, unfortunately, this purple ACU is sitting back doing upgrades while Achieved Jaguar is going to start to get in the fray. And with that ACU, I think he is going to do a huge amount of damage and push through. Can he overcharge? That's a good question. He certainly can. He's got 9,000 in the bank. He's got about 120 overflow, so he won't be able to overcharge continuously, but even just a couple wiping out 5-6 Auroras at once, that'll make a fairly big dent in the very limited numbers of Auroras that he has already got, or that Bravo has got left. Alright, we've got another stack of reinforcements coming up from there. Are we seeing any Tech 2 shift? No, we're seeing Tech 2 mass extractors. So Achieved has got clearly way too much eco. He doesn't know what to do with it. So he's going for Tech 2 mass extractors. There is no Tech 2 factory upgrades by the look of it. They're all just continuing to spam units out. I don't think he really needs to worry about the Tech 2 at this stage, because look at the damage that that gun ACU is doing. Let's have a look at it from his perspective. He is just waltzing on forward, just hammering away at those units. That is a sight to behold. There's nothing Bravo can do until he gets his own ACU into the mix. There he goes. He is coming around the mountain right now when he comes. But I fear it is a little bit too late, because the ACU is just about into the base. It's just about evaporated all those forces that Bravo was trying to defend with, and just look at the range on that gun. We actually do have that Tech 2 upgrade there. What is the purpose of that though? I don't think there's anything that Bravo can build with a Tech 2. Hang on, what is this? Where has Achieved Jaguar's units gone? Has he been left all alone? This is a serious mistake from Achieved if he gets caught out. If those Auroras can get under his feet, then this could be the end of Achieved. That would be a huge turn in the tide of battle. I don't think the Auroras are going to be able to get under. There's a whole lot coming here. There's a Tech 1 PD as well, so any Auroras trying to wrap up that ACU, that will get denied. So the Bravo's ACU there down to 4,600. Well, what is that? That is 5,000 HP. I think the idea here for Achieved is just to get the heck out of Dodge, let the Auroras finish off the job and keep that ACU alive. But that is, well, 1,300 HP. The Auroras are not going to have too much more work to be done. So Achieved is just backing up that ACU. He doesn't have to worry too much. There we go. That is the end of it. That last little bit of HP has been whittled away, leaving Achieved Jaguar, or Big Priam, whatever face is, with 2 points there on the scoreboard, and that is going to give him the points for the round robin. Well, that was a bit more intense than I was expecting. It came down to the wire there. A little more adept movement with those Auroras on Bravo's side. Could have seen them come out with the win, but as it turned out, it was achieved Jaguars' game. So that means it is 2-1 in the best of 3. So congratulations to him. That brings him just that little bit closer to trying to get a spot in tomorrow's tournament.